We are fun boxing, gonna open up some toys. We are fun boxing, gonna make a whole lot of noise. Fun boxing Transformers, fun boxing G.I. Joes, fun boxing MOTU Origins from your head down to your toes. We are fun boxing. Let's go, Bob Squad. Keep fun boxing in the free world. One more time. Keep fun boxing in the free world. Alright, singing Land Shark, that is enough out of you. What's the skinny? What is going on, Bob Squad? What are we doing? We're fun boxing. We are looking over on your left, also my left. We are looking at Buzz Off. We are looking at the evil king of the sea, Lop Merman. Why are we looking at these two figures? Because they are somewhat related to the awesome nostalgia by Wave 8, MOTU Origins, Masters of the Universe. We are talking about Clawful. We're talking about Clawful, you crazy cats. I want to start on the back. Okay, a few things. I saw one of these in a store and I bought it, and that's the only one I've seen since, and that was a couple of weeks ago. And I tend to go too frequently. Not because I'm always trying to buy toys, but I always look for toys because I go to Target and or Walmart just about every day because I don't cook. So I always have to go back and grocery shop several times. And I always give the toy aisle a glance first thing as soon as I get there, because why would I walk past it? That is silly. Let's take a look at the art. You've probably already seen this before. Clawful's crushing brutality and cunning intellect makes him one of He-Man's more vicious enemies. I don't recall him having cunning intellect in the Filmation cartoon. I think he was a bit of a moron, but be that as it may. That is Teela. She is trying to shield this terrible claw punch from... And there's wonderful water that they're kind of like, shin deep in and stuff in the back. And of course, and everyone's made this observation, and I will make it again as well, Whiplash is in the back, and not a big surprise given the reuse of the feet and yada yada yada. Sunman, Horde Trooper, there's Clawful, and there's Anti-Eternia He-Man, are all part of this line. I'm going to be picking up Sunman when at some point I'll see him and I'll get him, and that'll be that. I think I'll do him, Randor, and maybe Whiplash, and I'm done. I'm calling it quits. I'll be able to make my second movie probably in September, October-ish. Let's see. Work, lever, make, claw, grab. It looks the same as it always used to be. There's the green mace club thing he beats people with. There's a figure twist into battle positions. And hold on. Made in China. It's made in China, okay? Spin them around. Okie dokie. Let me talk to you for a second before we open this. So this was a pure nostalgia buy. Clawful was easily one of my favorite villains as a kid. Most of my He-Mans I got from, I think I got from my brother, because I was like 5 and he had a bunch. I just kind of inherited them because he wasn't into, my older brother was not into action figures for very long. So I just kind of inherited, and I think in '86 is when I started getting like Hordak and Cyclone and the Fright Zone were my favorite things. So, but I inherited a lot of these earlier guys, most of which had chew marks on them from Heidi, our dachshund, who would steal them and everything else. But what's amazing to me about Clawful is I have this case of, I don't know what you call it, when you just remember the wrong thing. I could have sworn for decades, up until a year or two ago, I could have sworn this character's name was Lobster, like lobster with an O in there. Because there was Ninjor, Skeletor, and Panther, and yada yada yada. And I know that when I played with him, I called him Lobster. I honestly thought that was his name. Had to be. Because they put an OR into everything, and he was a lobster. And I think my 5-year-old brain just saw this figure. And keep in mind, if I inherited this figure, so I would have never seen the packaging. So I just thought his name was Lobster in my brain, because that made sense, because that went with the He-Man theme of naming stuff. And it's not a terrible name for this figure, considering, like I said, Ninjor and Panther and Skeletor and Lop Merman and all these other guys. Yeah, I think all the bad guys, a lot of ORs with the bad guys, huh? And then Robot O was not as clever, and we can do this all day. But here he is. He is the warrior with the grip of evil, make his dreadful claw grab and hold. There is a new comic in there, which I will be taking a look at. Pure nostalgia buy, one of my favorite villains. Classic example of an action figure that's an action feature that's cool, but does not really get in the way of posability or anything else. So I've been staring at this guy for about 3 weeks on my kitchen table, walking past him, waiting to open him, and I do not want to wait anymore. And I just read this wave's mini comic through and through. Just took a couple of minutes, and this is my favorite mini comic of the MOTU Origins. Cool little story, got me interested in Anti-Eternia He-Man, whatever, is that what it's called? God damn it. Yes, got me interested in Anti-Eternia He-Man for the first time, and just a little bit about Sunman, and I enjoyed it. And it did a pretty good job, with the exception of the Horde Troopers explaining to you the importance of everyone who's been released in this wave. The Horde Troopers kind of show up at the end and are a little bit of fodder, but we can move fodder along and get Clawful. Oh, they got the gimmicks in him. Hang on. God damn it all to hell. I have scissors. Son of a bitch. Hang on a second. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. I'm doing this on my bed in a giant piece of cardboard I haven't used, so I don't have to rearrange my room. Let me just try to... So my understanding is this guy has clearly a lot of reused parts from Buzz Off, and I think Whiplash has at least similar feet and probably similar hands too. No, maybe not, but whatever. But clearly there's more parts they can get out of them, and we're going to compare them in just a second. Is this... I suck at this. The neighbors are making noise. Well, so am I technically, but I'm not yelling like a crazy person. Let's take a look at the accessory first. It is a green club-like thing. Very good. Alrighty. Wow. So here's what I love right away. Yes, I know that his colors are brighter than the vintage Clawfuls, but most of the MOTU Origins, they are a tad brighter. Or is it just really that the figures have been around for 40 years, and whether they're mint on card or whether they're not, they're just going to be a little darker and faded? I mean, because this is the color that I remember Clawful to be. Several people have pointed out really that this shell is not hard plastic like it was in the old days, but a thing that I'm not even going to bother taking it off. I don't care about that stuff. I love his spiny back here. Makes him all kind of hard to pin if you're wrestling him. It's a terrible Jim Hurt idea. Who gets that reference? No one. Who cares? But my favorite thing before we play with the claw, and we will, is I love this face. And yeah, a little bit of paint app. Okay, he's got an extra pupil on his eyeball there. Not too big a deal. Like I said, this is the only one I expect to see in a store. I did have him pre-ordered, but that wasn't going to come until June, maybe. And I saw him in a store, and I just said, hey, you know what? Time to cancel the pre-order, because I want to get this underway. Head is spinning all around. He's getting used to my room, used to my surroundings, and everything else. The same articulation, blah, 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 blah. This wonderful claw. Oh, I'm doing this for the first time since I was like 5, 6 years old. Right now. Not quite the violent snap. I remember this used to hurt. This used to hurt. Doesn't hurt at all, by the way. Yeah, it's not quite as vicious and violent. I don't know how I'm going to film it without my hand on camera, but I'll worry about that later. I really love it. It reminds me of Fisto and Jitsu, who I don't have here, who just have one giant hand doing a giant thing, except this one has the claw. It's so wicked, and you know he's a bad guy just by looking at him. I'll give you a full look. He's got this traditional furry underwear that they all have, and this is the second time we've seen the spiny feet, so let's just do this right now. Clearly he has Buzz-Off's feet, and clearly he has Buzz-Off's claw hands, so I guess no big surprise that Clawful showed up when he did. How much is there really to say? I like them. I brought a lot mermen out here because I just figured there'll be some sort of loose alliance with, sea creatures and lobsters, and it is great to have a MOTU Origins villain of the crustacean. I messed it. I tongue-tie that one. And it is great to have a MOTU Origins villain of the crustacean persuasion all across the nation. Lop, 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 lop. Yeah. Lop, 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 lop. Yeah. Okay. I love him. I love him. He is bright and colorful. Yes, his colors are brighter than they used to be. Good. So what? I don't care. This is how I remember him. I know his teeth are different. I think he used to have two big fangs coming down, and now he's got like a row of teeth. I like the row of teeth. I like the big eyebrows. I like the expression. I love the scaliness of his head. And here's these scales back here to match these scales yonder, and the scaliness of the claw, and even of a little bit on this arm piece too. Very nice. Very, very nice. If you remember my Sacred Ground movie, Clawful's fate and Buzz-Off's fate is given away in the next movie, which will be a prequel to that. But it's going to be what it's going to be, and we're going to make sure they get plenty of screen time and have a whole lot of fun with these guys. I love MOTU Origins. It's an amazing line. It's actually going on its 3rd year and its 9th wave. I think 6 vehicles if you count the cats. 7 if you count that one of the cats has an extra furry version. And 1 giant playset. How many characters did we get? 40-something? 50? If the line, like I was telling someone today, if the line ended tomorrow, it's a success. So I don't understand why everyone's all doom and gloom all the time. How cool is the MOTU Origins line? We know we're getting Randor, we know we're getting Whiplash, and the Sunman thing for so many people that they didn't think was going to happen because it's 2 different worlds, and now the worlds are merged because the figures were made so similarly. These are good things. So celebrate it, save them, take good care of your toys, play with them anyway, display them, sleep with them, smell them, shove them up your... No, okay. Anyway, thank you, Bob Squad.
Can you dig it? Can you dig it, Bob Squad? I can dig it, she can dig it, we can dig it, they can dig it, she can dig it, they can dig it, we can you dig it? Can you dig it, Bob Squad?